Good morning, everyone. I am Joanna Grace A. Cagatin, and I will report about broiler poultry production. Specifically, overview of broiler industry, concepts and definitions. Backyard farm refers to any farm or household that tends or raises poultry animals. So, backyard farm, muna siya ang garis o poultry animals for household consumption. Commercial farm refers to any broiler farm which satisfies at least one of the following conditions. So, any broiler farm ni siya nga, kung satisfy lang aning one condition maskin kas, so matawag na siya commercial farm. Namely, tending 1,000 broilers or tending 100 broilers if raised in combination. Other information about backyard farm and commercial farm. Backyard farm, farmers buy feed. It has small house or free range, no farm records, and no business permits. Unlike commercial farm, they have farm records and business papers. So, kakuha sila business permits sa BIR. And they also practice modern technology. So, ang commercial farm is, para dali masabtan is, muna siya ang farm in which ga market og chicken meat sa mga buyers nga fast food, restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, and other institutional buyers. The farm gate price. So, it is a price received by poultry raisers for their produce at the location of the farm. Thus, marketing cost is not included in the farm gate prices. Imports refer to the number of meat products originating from foreign country, and the data on meat importation are compiled by the TSD of PSA. So, let's go to inventory. Inventory refers to the actual number of chicken and birds present in farm as of a specific reference date. So, muna siya ang inihap nga mga chicken or birds na naa sa farm. Next, technical notes. So, license to operate meat establishments or LTOME, muna siya ang premises or facilities where food animals are slaughtered for human consumption. So, LTOME is accredited slaughterhouses and poultry dressing plants by the National Meat Inspection Service. While locally registered meat establishment or LRME also is slaughterhouses, so meat processing plants, poultry dressing plants, and others are allowed to operate by the city or municipal government, but not accredited by the NMIS. So, sa ngalan nga locally is, mag-operate lang ning meat establishment sa municipal. Next is PDP or poultry dressing plant. So, premises or facilities yapon ni siya that are approved and registered by the controlling authority in which poultry are dressed for human consumption. So next is retail price. So we all know that retail price are prices, refers to prices in which kanang ginasell, in which mo bitaw ang kanang price kung unsa ang price sa market nga kanang goods and commodities to consumers. So next is value at constant price. It refers to the valuation of transactions wherein the influence of price change from base year to the current year. And value at current price refers to the value based on prices during the reference year or nominal year. Next is value of production, refers to the value of animal with reference to its farm gate price. So para ma-derive ning value of production is by just multiplying the volume of production by its farm gate price. So volume of production refers to the volume of locally raised birds disposed for dressing which include shipped out for dressing and expressed in metric tons live weight. So, broiler chicken situation report. as of July 2020, the total inventory of chicken was recorded at 186.47 million birds. So it lowered by 2.7% in the same period of 2019. And broiler chicken stocks decreased by 11.1%. So the chicken meat production, so nagbabagid ang chicken meat production, yet increase of 3% from the 2019 level. Plus, due to record low farm gate price, so low man ang farm gate price in second quarter, tungod lagi sa COVID-19, is the chicken production is nag-grow gyapon but in a slower pace. Next is average farm gate price of broiler chicken. So, nani siya sa commercial farms, and during the quarter of 2020, the farm gate price was 67.45 pesos per kilogram live weight, and it was 9.5% lower than the previous year. Next is the retail prices of chicken. So, nag-remain steady lang yapon ang retail prices of chicken, and as mandated by the Price Act, the DA suggested retail price for whole chicken is 130 per kilo. So chicken meat imports from January to May 2020 increased 50% from the previous year, and about 65 to 70% is composed of mechanically deboned meat of chicken used for meat processing. So there are 175 meat processors in the country, and they together produce annually about 600,000 metric tons of meat products worth around 90 billion pesos. Imports of chicken leg quarters and other chicken cuts. So, ang imports sa chicken leg quarters and kanang sa mga wings, chicken wings, are nag-grow siya significantly in the early months. Okay, kanang robust demand man ang in demand siya sa hotel, restaurant, and institutional sector. And sadly, in second quarter, in which COVID-19 na, quarantine, pandemic na, chicken leg quarters and other cuts dropped due to low demand, port congestion problems since gakadelay ang shipping of chicken meat, chicken leg quarters, and a lack of cold storage space. So, according to the news of Philstar, Brazil is the country who import to the Philippines more than half of about 43.27 million kilos. So, and this include 30.44 million kilos of deboned meat, 6.58 million kilos of chicken cuts, and 3.5 million kilos of chicken leg quarters. So, according to the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, imports in 2021 are expected to reach a similar level as 2020, supplementing local production that will recover partially but not reach 2019's level. So, so this is the table of Philippine chicken imports January to May 2019 and 2020. So, 2019 pa lang is dako na gid percent ang deboned meat, unlike sa uban nga parts sa chicken. And as of 2020 is nag-increase gyud ang atong imports. So these are my references to this report from the from the USDA and the PSA, and also in the philstar.com article. So that's all, and thank you for listening.
Breeding flock. Objectives of poultry breeding. First is to increase annual egg production potential of hen. Second is to increase meat production per broiler. Third is to increase feed conversion efficiency for more egg and meat per bird. Lastly is to increase quality of meat and egg. So what is breeding flock? Breeding flock means a flock that produces progeny to be used for egg and meat production or for establishing, continuing, or improving genetic lines of poultry. So ang breeding flock is offspring ni siya sa manok kundi himuon siya o producer sa egg or meat. So here are some components of breeding flock. First is the nutrition. Nutrition of breeder flock is really important. It should start at least about 4 weeks prior to setting the eggs in the incubator. So, nutrition is the foundation para makahimo ka og or makaproduce a good quality of eggs and meat. Next is core diet. So, specialist breeding rations are available but difficult to resource. The recommended is to feed a high quality of layers pellets as flock main diet. And the objective of body weight control is to rear all the birds to the target weight for age and with good uniformity. Here are some common factors leading to body weight uniformity problems. There is a poor feed distribution, incorrect feed amounts, incorrect feed specs. So, mo ni siya ang mga kasagaran ng mga problems kung dili nato sundon ang mga guidelines about breeding flock. So, naa dinhi ang mga too high or too low energy feeds or irregular feeding times. So here are alternative feeding method. 6:1, 5:2, or 4/3, and skip a day. So mo ni siya ang mga example of feeding method. Next is the vaccination. Diseases and parasites can cause losses egg production. The main purpose of vaccination program is to prevent losses from specific disease. So, ang vaccination is more po ni siya og kung sa bata pa is kanang kailangan siya na bakuna para makuan iyang immune system. So, likewise sa kanang manok, kailangan pa siya og vaccination. And here are some diseases sa mga manok. Next is housing. Housing of the burger stock should be thoroughly clean and any major maintained complete prior to the start of breeding season. So, kailangan pod nga ang housing is naapod siya sa guidelines or sa standard nga limpyo o kuan kanang comfortable sa mga manok. Na diri gibutang is hygiene is your insurance policy. Kailangan jud nga sa mga example sa commercial farming is naadjud ang cleanliness. Here are some types of heating. Rolling stoves, infrared boilers, infrared tube heaters, and space heater. Here are key points to remember. Healthy breeding birds produce the most viable eggs, and good nutrition impacts eggs quality and chick development. Third is minimize disturbance by completing maintenance in the coop prior breeding season. Fourth is to ensure breeding stock are free of mites, lice, internal parasites prior to the season. So, mo ni siya ang purpose sa vaccination and cleanliness sa housing. Fifth is don't neglect and cockerel. Makes up 50% of each chick, so he needs to be in top condition. So, dapat ang imuhang manok is na siya sa good condition and good kanang nutrition para na siya good quality of eggs and meat. That's all. Thank you.
Part for today, it's all about different breeds of broiler. Chicken breeds falls into three basic categories: egg producer, meat birds, and dual-purpose types. Broilers in the second category had been engineered to mature quickly, ready to market as early as 6 weeks of age. The commercial market depends on just a few broiler breeds or types. These breeds don't make a good pets if you're not in the market for meat. They're not bred for longevity, and size create issues in older breeds. Chicken. The most common type of broiler isn't an actual breed, but is a cross of white rock and Cornish chickens. Male Cornish white rock crosses with about 4.5 pounds by the age of 6 weeks. If kept around 5 weeks longer, they weigh at about 9.5 pounds. Females of this cross, known as Cornish game hens, grow more slowly, weighing approximately 2.5 pounds at 5 weeks old. Like other white-featured meat birds, their carcasses don't have discolored areas on the skin because of the feature growth. Red broilers. Red broilers or level ranch don't mature as fast as the Cornish crosses. It takes them twice as long, 12 weeks, to reach market size. Males mature at about 7 pounds and females at 5 pounds. If you want to raise a broilers outdoors instead of an indoor facility, red broilers make a good choice. As their name implies, these birds have featuring of various shades of red, and some have dark tails. Hens produce large brown eggs but won't go broody. That means you must incubate the fertilized eggs if you want to raise another red broiler generation. Developed in 1940s, Delaware chickens resulted from crossing Rhode Island red hens with barred Plymouth Rock rooster. At one time, Delawares were widely used in the broiler industry, but the Livestock Conservancy, which monitors rare breeds, now lists them as threatened. The Delawares' white bodies sport black bearing on their necks and tails. Males mature early, tipping the scales at 8 pounds. Hens are smaller at 6 pounds. Unlike some other broiler needs, Delawares are also useful for small-scale egg production. The Jersey Giant, originally developed by Thomas and John Black. The Jersey Giant was created, of course, in the state of New Jersey. It was created with the goal of addressing the demand of the time during the late 80s for heavy-breasted roasting birds. This chicken would surpass the weight and meat quality of the turkey. So there are 3 formally recognized variants of the Jersey Giant chicken, which are the black, white, and blue. The blue is the most recent recognized color, only recognized by the American Poultry Association in 2003. Freedom Ranger, a great alternative to fast-growing white broiler chicks on slowly growing heritage breeds. Freedom Ranger chick grow at a moderate rate, reaching peak of weight of 5 to 6 pounds in 9 to 11 weeks. The Breeze, a beautiful bird, typically white with blue-colored clean legs and a single comb. However, breezes any come in blue, splash gray, and black as well. The Orpington chicken, developed by a man named William Cook, a coachman who lived in the town of Orpington in County Kent, England. Cook was able to reveal the Black Orpington breed, a chicken that rapidly grew to fame and became a backyard staple in England. The Buckeye chicken, a dual-purpose breed of chicken, a red color of plumage. They have yellow legs and skin. Rooster weight approximately 9 pounds, hens weight approximately 6.5 pounds, and lay medium size of brown eggs. The Leghorn, the most popular chicken breeds due to their ability to produce 300 to 320 eggs per year. Due to their prolific egg-laying ability, they are preferred by laboratories for embryonic and avian biological. Leghorn originate in Italy and its crossbreed hereditary provides a rarely broody. Also, Leghorn are noisy birds. The Egyptian Fayumis are small, active, and lovely chickens have raced along the Nile River in Egypt for centuries. The turkey brooder. They will be happiest if you keep their brooder temperature at 95 to 100 degrees for first week. The Chanterelle. The breed was created by a monk brother Wilfred. The breed history is complex. The first cross was between a dark Cornish and white Leghorn. The Chanterelle was created to withstand the cold, harsh weather of winters in Canada while still laying eggs. The plumage is white. The Crawd Langshan. A large in body, has a deep and a long breast which carried well forward. The characteristic is U-shaped. Head is small compared to the body size. Light to dark horn in color. Comb in medium side, a single and carried upright in both. The Dorkings. Made great pets. They are calm, docile, with good fertility. Named after the town in Dorking in Surrey. This is an ancient breed described by a Roman author almost 2,000 years. The Dorking was the bird of choice in the London markets for several centuries. From the 1930s until the 1960s, the Dorking breeds was only kept going by a few dedicated breeders. The King originate from heritage breeds. Around 80% of Corsair Kings are barred while 20% are mixed silver and red. Corsair King is a cousin of the Freedom Ranger. Corsair Kings are excellent foragers. Most growers prefer the males since they grow faster and weight larger than the females. The New Hampshire. The New Hampshire breed of chicken originated in the state of New Hampshire in United States. Poultry farmers starting with Rhode Island Reds and performing generation after generation in selective. The New Hampshire. The New Hampshire breed of chicken originated in the state of New Hampshire in United States. Poultry farmers starting with Rhode Island Reds and performing generation after generation in selective breeding.
Hi guys, today I'm discussing you about broiler housing facilities with broiler poultry management. So, broiler housing facilities, making a good broiler poultry housing system is very important for keeping your meat birds healthy and productive. But for proper growth and maximum production from your birds, you have to make a suitable house for them and ensure a good environment. So, para enable daw makakuha ta og sakto nga kuan sa atong mga broiler, dapat sakto ang ilang mga cluster. So, modern fast-growing broilers are more dependent on suitable environmental condition than any other poultry bird. The suitable broiler poultry housing is very important for commercial and profitable production. Here we are describing more about the steps in constructing suitable house for your broiler production business. So, we have construction. So, an average wood, concrete or steel trusses supports are used for construction broiler poultry houses, and the houses are usually clear span structures from side wall to side wall. So, the floor of broiler house is usually compacted dirt that is covered with various types of building materials. You can use rice hull, sand, wood, shavings, peanut, rice hulls, etc. for making the bed over the fall. So, ipakita ko sa inyo sa start. So, inani guys. So, kani sa kuan sa left side, makita na to ang trusses sa babaw mo ng mga steel trusses. And diri sa right side mo ni siya ang wood nga gamit lang. So ilahang ubos ani is mga rice hull or mga kanang dirt. So drop ceilings. So build drop ceilings for improving ventilation and reducing heating costs. Drop ceilings act as a vapor barrier and help to protect the trusses and ceiling insulation. It reduces the ceiling surface area. Drop ceilings also allow the installation of ceiling insulation for reducing heat loss during cold weather and heat gain during hot weather. So dapat drop ceilings lang siya guys para dili siya makuha sa atong mga trusses. Solid side walls. This will help to reduce air leaks, provide better light control, and will allow the house to be heated more efficiently. Further, the open side walls with post solid side walls will provide smooth surface. This also help to improve air speeding during tunnel ventilation. This will help to increase the calling of birds next to the wall. So, kung mag-igangan man ng mga birds, so napod siya air ventilation sa iyang side. Ventilation. So, ventilation is good system is also very important for boiler port housing. Proper ventilation delivers fresh air and removes excess heat, moisture, and undesirable gases from the house. So, tsada ang ventilation guys kay kuan sa imong boiler para dili kay manimahaw ang sulod sa imong kuan and dili magkuan ang kainit. So, cold weather, there are two types of ventilation. Cold weather ventilation, it's for kung gusto kag kuan gikan sa tugnaw nga panahon ang imong mga manok, and hot weather ventilation kung kuan na pod kayo kailangan og hot imong mga manok. So lastly, we have the controlling house environment. Controlling house environment is very important because you must have to have facilities to control the temperature, moisture, etc. This will result in a comfortable environment and your broiler birds will grow well. Before constructing broiler poultry house, you must sa ka mag construct og broiler poultry housing, you must have to learn the process of building house. Keep in mind that the following topics will building house for your broiler poultry. First is broiler poultry housing system needs to be located in high pre-pump flood. So dapat nasa sa taas para dili mabahaan. Selected area for building the house will be slightly higher than surrounding area. So siya ra jud isa diya dapat wala na kay para di makakuan sa mga baho. The house will live far from the resident area, and this one is parehara sa ikaduha, and it will be better if the house is located on calm and quiet place. So dapat quiet place para dili kay ma-stress ang manok sa mga kasaba. So that's all guys for broiler housing facilities. Thank you.
Broiler feeding and nutrition. So broiler chickens are growing in popularity because they are quick and easy to raise. Broiler chickens are uniquely bred for fast growth and finish, and the most popular breeds are the Cornish Rock and Cornish Cross. Typically, they are raised to approximately 6 pounds and are processed between 6 and 8 weeks of age. Heritage breeds are also popular but take 16 weeks to reach harvest. So in broiler feeding, broiler chicks requires broiler starter feed for the first 4 weeks of their life. The broiler starter feed should be at least 20% protein. After 4 weeks, you should feed a broiler developer or finisher. Feeding constitutes the highest variable cost in poultry production, accounting for at least 60% of such costs, especially in an intensive rearing systems. One of the objectives of any poultry producers is to feed the chickens with balanced diet at least cost. Energy and protein are the second most important feed constituents after water and are needed to maintain health, growth, and production. Cereals are grains producing plants which can be used as energy sources in animal and human food. So here the table is showing the cereal grains, root and tuber energy sources, plant protein energy sources. So in cereal grains, it is corn, wheat, sorghum, barley, millet, and oat. So, and in root and tuber energy sources consist of cassava and potato. And for the plant protein energy sources is the soybean meal, sunflower meal, and cotton seed meal. So in the broiler nutrition, the primary sources of energy in broiler feed are carbohydrates and fats. However, when protein is fed in excess, it too may become a source of energy. But to feed protein for energy is uneconomical. The balance between carbohydrates, fats, and protein in the diet must be carefully constructed. Dietary energy is supplied in broiler nutrition through different feed resources. Dietary energy content strongly regulates feed consumption, and energy is the most expensive item in poultry chicks. At the same time, excess energy intake may result in an increased fat deposition, which affects heat qualities and consumers' health. Dietary management of energy intake has been reported to decrease the cost of production and improve product quality to a greater extent. And most energy feed ingredients that will help in achieving improved performance, health, production cost, and improved quality in production. Thank
Good day, classmates. I'm discussing to you the brooding management of chicks. Brooding is defined as the management of chicks from 1 day old to about 8 weeks of age, and it involves the provision of heat and other necessary care during chicks' early growing period. Types of brooding: natural brooding and artificial brooding. Natural brooding. It is done with the help of brooding and provide all the warmth required by the chicks. Artificial brooding. Artificial brooding can be defined as the handling of newly born chicks without the aid of hens. It accomplished by means of a temperature-controlled brooder. Types of brooder equipment. Brooder guard. Brooder guard is a hard board that can be made to form a ring or circle with ease. Brooder or heater. Charcoal kerosene stove. This type of brooder is the best option where electricity is not available. However, this type of brooder is commonly used on most standard farms. Each heating unit has a 250 watts bulb, usually 5 well-arranged incandescent bulbs or infrared bulbs with a power on-off switch or button. Electric brooder. This is a thermostatically controlled heater that is capable of spreading heat uniformly above a large area. Gas brooder. This type of brooder, unlike the electrical brooder, uses gas to generate heat. Infrared bulb. An infrared bulb heater is also used to generate the heat required by the chicks to keep their body warm. Automatic heater. An automatic heater has an enclosed 600 watts heating elements with a thermostat and reflector. Thermometer. It is used for monitoring the ambient temperature inside the brooding house. That's all. Thank you.
Harvesting before and after harvesting. Harvesting is the process of gathering a ripe crop from the fields. Harvesting is the most labor-intensive activity of the growing season. Why should we prevent contamination before, during, and after harvest? To protect yourself and your customers from injury and illnesses. This is an important time to assess risk. Produce is about to leave the farm. Best practices. Worker training and hygiene. Number 2. Clean and sanitize all surfaces, containers, transportation, etc. Number 3. proper use of toilets and hand washing stations. Number 4, designated break areas in fields and packing sheds. Number 5, clean water for drinking, irrigation, and cleaning. Before harvest, wash, scrub, rinse, and sanitize everything before you use. Discard damaged containers. Separate tools used for handling manure and tools for produce. Keep equipment in good repair, no leaking fluids or lost or damaged parts. Protect light bulbs and glass on harvesting equipment so it cannot contaminate produce. Store packing materials in a covered location. Do not stand or sit in harvest containers. Do not place hats, rugs, or other objects in containers. Remove dirt and debris from containers before stocking. Do not stock containers directly on soil or floor. During harvest, pick fruits and vegetables when they are dry. Never harvest produce with animal droppings. Never harvest fruits that damaged or rotten. Minimize the amount of soil contamination, especially for field packed produce. Do not leave fresh produce in the sun or under a tree. Remove harvested produce from fields as soon as possible. Include domestic animals and wildlife from fields. Cover bins as they are transported from the field to the packing area. After harvest, pest management, check building for holes and leaks. Use traps and sprays as necessary. Avoid standing water and condensation. If using water and ice, make sure it is safe for human consumption. If using refrigeration or freezers, ensure that the cooling unit is functioning properly and avoid temperature fluctuations. All vehicles used to transport produce should be inspected before loading. Must be clean, sanitized, and free from debris and bad odors.
Biosecurity. Biosecurity defines all procedures used to prevent the introduction and spread of disease. The objectives are prevent the entry of disease, control the spread of disease. The benefits are helps keep out diseases, reduces the risk of zoonotic diseases. For example of zoonotic diseases is rabies or tawag na to rabies. Next is limits the spread of diseases, helps protect the public health, improves the overall flock health, cuts costs of disease treatment, reduces losses and improves profitability. How diseases spread? Diseases spread by movement of people, animals, equipment, and vehicles. Contact with neighboring flock, contact with insects, rodents, stray animals, and pets. Contaminated water and feeds, inadequate cleaning and disinfection. So inana siya mag-spread ang mga diseases gikan sa bisan unsa nga farm. Next is biosecurity information. Strictly limit control access to the farm fencing. Controlled entry point. Next is keep an all-in, all-out flock management. Provide a security or decontamination area. Require all persons entering the farm to sign a visitor's logbook. Vehicle plate numbers must be recorded. Clean and dirty areas should be well defined. Truly clean and disinfect all equipment and vehicles entering and leaving the farm. Better not to borrow equipment or vehicles from other farms. Don't use same vehicles for transporting birds, feeds, equipment, or waste products. Keep wild birds off, bird proofing. Keep other animals, pets, livestock out of the farm. Pest or rodent control program. Proper disposal of damaged eggs, dead birds, litter or manure. Regularly clean and disinfect all equipment and vehicles before and after use. After every cycle, thoroughly clean and disinfect all houses and equipment. Once cleaned, a farm should be closed and left idle. The longer the downtime, the better the result. That's all. Thank you.